Okay, welcome, and we're live. So welcome everybody to this week's Happy Melly Happiness Challenge, where we're doing happiness at work from anywhere. So what's been going on is the entire week I've been posting small challenges, daily challenges, in the Happy Melly Slack group, the remote working Slack group, and just seeing what people's experiences are. And the challenges were just meant to get people to think about their workspaces, how they communicate with other people, productivity, all gadgets, apps, these kind of things, so that we can just share with each other what some of the best things were. So that's what it is. So today we have Jennifer and Sam and Christian joining the conversation. So woo!
Yay!
So we can do a quick round actually of introductions and just say maybe one thing you learned out of the challenge, one thing you tried and one thing you learned, or just a thought from this week's challenges that we discussed. So Sam, how about you start?
Thanks.
There's enough time.
I definitely think the noise canceling headphones, because it was something that I was like, no, I don't need them at all. And then we actually talked about it a little bit. And then with the podcasts, I thought that it really might be worth it. So I haven't bought them yet, but I changed the way that I originally was thinking about it. So for me, that's a shift.
Oh. Interesting. Okay, and you can pick the next person.
Jen.
Well, for me, I just enjoyed taking the moment to appreciate the little things about what we like. It's a good reminder because I've been working remotely in the last 5 years, maybe almost 4 out of the last 5 years, or maybe longer. So appreciating and remembering what's good about it, just doing little things like take a picture and remember why you like where you are, or maybe if you don't, maybe you need to make a change of where you are, because even though we don't have a strict office, we're creatures of habit, and we tend to go to the same place all the time anyway, because we can work from anywhere, we always work from the same place usually, right? So it was good to remember to look at where we are and how our physical surroundings are. So that was fun. And Christian.
Yeah, there's many learning from this week. One learning is through the post on the Happy Melly channel. I have now a toolbox of so many different and useful tools for remote team. And some of them I absolutely didn't know about it. So it's a really great resource. And my key takeaway is also the noise cancelling asset. So something like I have now, which is the low cost videos. I definitely buy one, and I'm an agile project manager, so I'm also gonna buy one for my teammates. We had some struggling in some remote team conversation where we asked the guy to move to another room just because there's too much background noise. And a little spending can make a huge difference. So that's my next on the list.
Yeah, I like it too. It's a lot of people. There's this Agile Bill said this in my interview with him. He said a lot of us think that we want to be in the same room, co-located with each other, but actually what we want is high bandwidth communication. So it doesn't mean we need to be in the same room with each other, but we have to be able to easily talk. And so there's this whole bunch of little things that make it easier to talk, like the noise canceling headset just for the background noise, so that that's not distracting, or putting ourselves on mute. I'll show off the supercars. So putting ourselves on mute, if we do have background noise, because that just helps the flow of conversation. So that's interesting to hear. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah.
I was just going to say, because you tend to refer to your supercards, but anyone outside wouldn't know it. So maybe you could give a quick explanation about what those are and show them off a bit. Of course, I, again, left them at home, as I always do. I always forget mine.
Yeah, it's just a quick, because we're using video, we can be visual. So we should take advantage of being able to be visual. So I just made these cards for the typical things that tend to come up in video calls. This one is a little bit less useless, but it's fun. And then I have two favorites, the 404 error. It comes up weirdly.
What is that?
It just means 404 error. Like that's what you get on a website when you go to a website. You get the 404. And then my all-time favorite, but it just shows off my corny sense of humor, is actual. Like, look, the bottle is actual size.
We should actually take a picture of you and put that on the Facebook to wrap up this challenge. We don't have an actual size picture. Wait, can I just comment, Christian? Are you drinking wine?
Yes, that's correct. It's
I really like that. I like your style.
okay. It's alcohol time, and I say, why not? Fully enjoy the session.
Totally.
8 people and a glass of wine.
Totally.
I like that.
So I want to go through the challenges and just ask you guys, and not everybody has to answer for each challenge, though we could since there's only 4 of us. But I'd really like to ask you guys to say what you got from the challenge, and if you didn't do it, we can make something up for now, like what you're going to get now. But the first one was name your favorite gadget for working on the road. So I recorded people's answers, but it's more fun if you do it. So we'll start with Christian this time. What is your favorite gadget for working on the road?
Okay, my favorite gadget is my my mobile device, so my smartphone, which I use it for the purpose you call a mobile router, I think. So I'm in Switzerland, and when you have flat rate stuff, you can use your mobile phone as a Wi-Fi spot. And
Right.
it works perfectly on a train. So when I'm crossing north, south, east, west country, I have probably 95% connection and enough to watch video and to make remote work. So that's my biggest.
Whoa. And that really is only possible with that flat rate. Because
otherwise it's possible, it's just too expensive.
Right.
It is something like, okay, either flat rate, even the entry level is enough in Switzerland, or what you have, which is those mobile router, which work probably in your country and maybe abroad. And this make a huge difference. You just put it on and you're connected.
Right. Super handy.
Big, yeah, it's really handy. That's my favorite one.
All right, you can pick the next person.
Let's say Sam.
No, I just had to actually look mine up because I forgot what I'd said. But I have this. It's a battery pack. So I don't know what it's called, but pretty much my phone's always dying, and so I just charge that, and then I bring that with me, and then I can plug my iPad into it, iPhone. So I just like that. So you're charged wherever, and you don't need to have a plug.
Jen?
I'm trying to take like a selfie picture of you seeing my computer itself. I don't really care about anything else. I found my iPhone really quite underwhelming, and my computer goes everywhere. It's got still a 9-hour battery, more than a year and a half in. I love it. It doesn't get hot. My MacBook, I had a MacBook, the old white MacBook Pro, and it was great. Then the hardware broke, but it was great for 4 years. Then I had a MacBook Air that was stolen, thank God, because it sucked. But my MacBook Pro is incredible, and I'm really excited. So, Carlo, welcome. We're telling right now what is our favorite remote working tool, and I guess Lisette will go next. And we can't see your video, by the way. It's some ominous redness.
Carlo, if you can hear us or if you want to check out your mic, then just go ahead and talk. Just to make sure. Because we can't hear you. See, this is where it comes in handy.
I think you're on mute now.
Now you're on mute, yeah. So mine is my noise canceling headset. I have a set of Bose QC20 noise canceling headset, and it takes out all the background noise, and it's especially awesome for flying. And I have to say that when I first saw the price, because it just takes out all that the engine noise from the airplane, and it makes it very, very nice. And when I first saw the price, I was like, no way. And then I had a particularly bad travel experience, and I thought, okay, I'm going to buy them. And they're worth every penny. So that's my favorite travel device. It's so quiet. It's so awesome.
How much? And what do they look like? Do you have them with you?
Yeah, I have them with me. They're around 300 and something euros. They're a lot, but they're the in-ear kind.
200 euros?
300.
She said 300.
Yeah, so they're the in-ear kind. They're small.
Huh.
And they come with a little battery pack. Amazing.
Do they put you to sleep?
they can, because it's just quiet. It takes out all the sound. So you can still hear high pitches like screaming teenagers and a few things, but it just, I'm a better person when I arrive at the place after having the headphones on.
What about babies? Or
yeah, it doesn't really drown them out either. They're just too high pitched and whiny, but it takes the edge off.
But couldn't you have just gotten earplugs for much cheaper? Or is it about listening to music too?
You can also listen to music. And so if you're like, for instance, on a plane, I can listen to podcasts at a very low volume because I don't have the engine noise around me. So everything comes down, like all the decibels come down. It's so nice.
It still sounds like a lot, but I'm excited for your enjoyment of them.
I feel like it's the thing that you spend money on, right? Like you'll invest in that.
I have high anxiety levels, so when I travel, they go on extra drive, and so for me, these kind of things just I'm a better person in this world. Otherwise, I just go.
Well, then keep investing.
Yeah, exactly.
Investing for all our sakes.
Exactly, €300 for everybody is no big deal. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Then we had the headset, which we already answered in the opening question. The one after that was posting a picture of your workspace. Any thoughts on people's workspaces when you saw them?
Like I have to go back and look at them. Was something about a freezer? I didn't really understand that one.
Yeah, I don't. Her name S.J. Baca. She had a freezer where she had ice cream sandwiches in there.
Right.
Which I respect Sarah for that, because that's good. That's another problem though of remote working is you can be super fatty. Sometimes, like, you have to be careful what you have at home or where you're remote working, because without as much of a commute or without giving any commute at all, sometimes you might not get any exercise. That's why even though I have a co-working around the corner from me at the same chain, no, I have to have a co-working at least 20 to 30 minutes walking away, because otherwise I'll just eat and never move.
Well, that's actually a good point, Lisette. I was wondering, do you ever address that in anything sort of like the health and remote working? I think that's actually a very interesting subject in it, just because it's something we don't necessarily think about.
That's true. I haven't specifically addressed it, but it is now on the list.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big fan of the standing desk, right? I've got this electric stand desk, which I love. And I was thinking, now is a perfect segue into turning it on. But it's true. We have to get out of the house. And that's where the Fitbit comes in really handy, right? For counting steps, because you can be like, oh no, it's 3 p.m. I've only done 900 steps today. It's time to go move the body.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also like eating habits, like you said, like maybe I would wonder if people who work remotely eat more or less. I find I eat less. Yeah. I don't know, Christian, what do you do?
It's a good question. Well, I'm trying to keep healthy, which means that during the lunch, all the dessert and stuff, I've canceled everything. I try to make lunch more veggie. What I'm trying to do is always have somebody to go lunch with. No matter where I am, that's where some stuff like Slack conversation and so come in handy. When I go to another city, I Slack to the group I know there, and I say, okay, is there anybody there for lunch or for evening or something? So this keeps me on the pulse to first walk to somebody somewhere for a restaurant or for grab a food somewhere, and walk to, in summer, walk to a garden to eat outside, and be with somebody at lunch. So try to use like the Pomodoro technique to say, okay, they have some work session, but also have some time space where I'm out of the desk and with somebody else somewhere else. Or if I have nobody, just go for a walk.
Yeah.
That's great, because London is hella depressing on this topic. I mean, I guess New York is like this too, but I've seen people wait in line for 20 minutes for whatever prepared food, because this is the prepared food capital of the world. And then they walk back eating while walking, or they scarf a sandwich, or I've actually seen multiple times someone eating sushi with the chopsticks and all while walking back to work. So they spend their 20 minutes to half an hour legally required lunch break waiting in line or
That would be a perfect time to listen to a podcast.
yeah, or they're like ticka ticka ticka, but
about remote working.
Social. It's a very culture shock for me after coming from Spain, where you have longer lunches and you enjoy lunch and you always go out with your coworkers and stuff. No one seems to go out with their coworkers here. Lunch is a very solitary activity for subsistence, not for quality. Not that the fresh food, prepared food here is better than anywhere else in the world, so at least they're eating something somewhat nutritious, but it's pretty much all sandwiches and really fast eating. But like, you'll spend really long line, they queue up. And then they just do that. So I look at that and say, oh, I do not want to work here for an in-person company. It's not a fun environment to not have that lack of connection. Because when they hear remote, a lot of people think remote means we don't want to know people, but it's actually the opposite usually.
Right. It's true. A lot of people say working from home, they have the impression that working from home means working at home alone without any connection with your team. And that is totally not what it means. It means just you're working in a different location, but you have the same connection with your team.
Yeah. Sometimes probably more.
Yeah, indeed, depending on the day. I mean, I'm sure there are needs where you're like, okay, I've got to go tuck away, and I've got to go check out this code, or just spend the day focused on one thing, and that's a different kind of working. But that's not remote working. That's just focusing on your own project, wherever you may do that. So then this leads us to productivity. So your favorite productivity hack that you use to keep yourself on track and disciplined. Now, I had said time boxing, but I have to add to that my workout breaks in the middle of the day are my favorite productivity hack, because I've just made a rule for myself that I'm not allowed to substitute exercise with work ever. So if there's ever a choice, I'm like, oh my God, I've got to get this blog post done. If I could really use that hour that I was going to go running, then I don't allow myself to do that. And so that ends up being, and I never regret it.
Really like that.
It's just a rule, you're like, you can't break the rule.
Well, you can, but you don't, which is admirable.
But if you put it on your calendar, it's so much more likely to happen. If you actually put your exercise in the work calendar, it's much more likely to happen.
Yeah, I do this also in the morning. So I have what's called the miracle morning, which is waking early. I wake up at 5:30. And I'm at work at 7:30, and the goal is a bit of exercise, a bit of reading, and a bit of meditation, and it has to be done before 8:30. So twice a week I've got a blocker in my calendar, and I go to the gym, and I want it to be done before 9 a.m. And when I'm at 9 a.m., I mean, everything kind of occurs during the day. I don't care, because my miracle morning is done, and it's just easy. I'm just fine. I'm just having a good spirit. I'm just going to go through the day. So exercise is priority one. So that would mean it's actually my tool. It's priority. And choose your priority one of the day, and there's only one priority one. There's no 2, 3, only one. What is the most important thing for today? And I have only one. And that's my focus. And when I'm done with this, I don't care what comes next. Helping our colleague or doing something else. I've just won the day.
So you have one task per day that has to get done that day. That's your...
Yeah. And this is the thing I want absolutely to be done after my miracle morning. And I say, this has to be done as soon as possible. And as soon as I get this done, I can do something else or help the others.
Smart.
And one priority one, not 2, not 3, just one.
Sorry, go.
Go ahead, Sam. Sorry.
No, I was going to say I'm taking that 5:30. I love that idea, and I don't, not to do anything physical, but I really like working sometimes at 5:30 in the morning, and I don't do it also because of my house, and it's not fair to other people inside it. But I think I might adopt that once a week or once every 2 weeks. I think that's great.
I have a friend who. I have a lot of friends who are trying to write books. I have very few friends that are getting anything done, and especially in the nonfiction world, because in the fiction world where I think it's quite strenuous. It's harder in a way, by a lot, I imagine. And I have a friend who from 6 to 8 every single day of his life, or at least weekdays, he wakes up and he gets that done. Then he'll have phone classes and things because he teaches English at 8 o'clock. But from 6 to 8, he immediately rolls out of bed and just writes for 2 hours. Doesn't just plays like classical music or something in his headphones to really focus, and that's it. And that's how he's on like his 3rd book. He hasn't done anything with them yet, but even finishing a large fiction novel is damn impressive. So,
Very.
It's funny, I was just going to ask, what do you do when you have an ongoing task like writing a book? And that has to be your one thing every day. But I guess
a lot of people that struggle with it. I mean, I was just WhatsApping with one of my friends who struggles with it a lot. And also, how do you make money and still do it too?
I wrote in for the productivity thing, the hack, which I think feeds into that, is I switch up the scene. So I find that sometimes I'll write well from like not a co-working, not the house, like a certain cafe. And I will literally block off. So I'll get the little task I need to do. So mentally I feel clear-headed, and I'll be like, for the next 3 hours, that's the only task, and you're going to go to this space and do it. And I usually find that works really well. But also it's like the creative energy, the vibe, you know, somewhere where you feel like, I don't know, juices are flowing.
But then you got to be off Slack, because I think Slack is the productivity death murderer.
I quit Slack. Yeah, no, I quit Slack. Yeah.
Oh, you quit everything.
It's a huge problem for remote teams, especially because we're so addicted to Slack. But it's really bad. Does anybody use the out of office or anything like that to really focus more? Or do you just have to quit Slack? Or if there's other tools that are so intrusive yet beneficial at the same time?
I quit Slack. I just turned it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I sometimes turn it off or turn off all notification from any tools, or leave the PC where it is and move to another place with pen, paper, and write.
Cool.
Or draw. Visualization is cool. Draw something.
True.
There's a tool someone just told me, I don't know, it's called Freedom or something. It blocks, you can't access the internet. So you set it for like 30 minutes or however long, and it prevents you from going on. I don't remember the name of it.
It's also called turning off Wi-Fi. What a genius invention that someone's selling that they will disconnect your internet. Because I've talked to my friends about this, and they're writing their books and like what type of word processing tool to use. But then they don't back anything up either, which I don't think is safe to not do backup. I think you should write a book online for safety reasons, so it doesn't get lost. But it's called turning off your Wi-Fi when you need it.
Right, but it's so easy to just like click it back on. I think this tool makes it a hassle for you. Anyways, yes.
I guess
it's called self-discipline.
It's kind of like no drunk dialing tools.
Mm-hmm.
Like blocking from calling an ex-boyfriend when you're drunk. You have to be able to like pass certain levels of intelligent exams. It's the same thing. It's a really clever gimmick for something people don't need.
Okay, so let's see. We have 2 more minutes, and I just want to end it by asking about the video communication. I'm curious about the video communication on Christian's team, because I know Jen and Sam's were on the same team. But Christian, you said that you guys use Zoom?
Yes.
And you switched to that. Okay, and do you always use video?
Okay, let me think, because I have 2 teams. One team use Zoom, the other team use Hangout. Yes. So we always use video, and when somebody is connecting the smartphone, and the connection is bad, and the video is getting bad, which is okay because we see it moving. We also had some funny meeting where the guy was moving in the park with his mobile device and filming around. It was cool. It gets difficult when the sounds get weird. And if we lost one video, or sometimes we have bad connection and somebody quit the video, then you feel the difference. I mean, I really feel it in either tools. If you don't have the video, if you don't see the face, like we all see us now, it's really low quality. I mean, I come back to what you said before, high communication bandwidth between you and people, that's the goal. And without seeing the face, it doesn't work as well. So video is for me a must requirement. That's why also at work. We have the Skype for Business stuff, and we equipped every single person with a high quality headset plus a webcam, which is high quality. So
Wow.
we want people to see each other, because otherwise the distance mentally is so huge that it's really hard to get connection and stuff. So video is for me a master requirement.
Do you get pushback from people on the team about it? Do people, because I know a lot of people don't like using video.
It's okay. Maybe the biggest pushback and biggest resistance is from the corporate people. On the two other community, it's just natural, and they are not happy when there's no video. So everybody requested. In the corporate world, they sometimes don't see the advantage, so you have to do some motivation. It's not as much resistance. What also helped is that in every team where I am, we had face-to-face interaction, or we have regular face-to-face interaction. So sometimes a year we can touch us, and the rest is per video call. So there's no way to argue. You don't want to see the video if, once or two or thrice a year you're together in a room for 2-3 days. So it's just natural. It's just a next extension. It's just that you can touch the screen, you don't touch the face, but it's just next door. So video is just, I would say it's a magnitude of probably 5 to 10 to improve the meeting connection.
I think so. I totally agree.
Lisette, it seems like a perfect segue for you to introduce us to Kendra. I assume she is near.
She is near, but I have to take off my headset to get it. So I'll do that. I'll introduce Kendra, and then maybe Christian, if you want, I have a pack of super cards for you for participating in the challenge week. So if you just put your address while I get Kendra in the chat.
I wanted one.
You also.
I already have one.
Yeah, Jen's already got
forget
one.
it. But I've decided I need a digital version.
I'll invest in them. I will.
No. You get one for being part of the Happy Melly team. So just send me your address.
Really?
Yeah.
Let
me go get Kendra.
Something we requested as a team, so we could do that. I put Lisette on the spot, but I've requested that. We'll meet Kendra in a minute. Kendra is an important part of Lisette's life.
Is it the cat?
Sam has not met Kendra either. No, that's not the cat.
Oh, really? This is Kendra the Kubi. So this is a portable telepresence device. So it allows you to beam in just like you are on Skype, and then move yourself from side to side or up and down. So for instance, if I'm sitting at a table with people, and I'm just sitting here at this table, I'm sitting here at this table during an in-person meeting, and I can then turn and look to my right and see who's talking, and then turn and look to my left and see who's talking, or look at the whiteboard, or nod my head up and down, or...
Wait, so you'd be in the screen?
Yeah, it's like just like I'm Skyping, but I'm in the screen here. I can even show it.
And they even have it, like an event Lisette and I went to, they had like a full robot version that can roll around and stuff too at events. I think Lisette has actually been the robot at an event or something, right?
Yeah, for sure. Of course.
Of course.
So like that is more expensive than the headphones, right? Just thinking, but I mean, that's pretty hardcore.
This is more like $500, $400.
Okay.
This, for instance, this is my friend Kristen. She would just beam in just like this, but she can turn herself and like look around and nod. And so what it does for the remote participant, it's nice because you can see who's talking, but for the people who are in the room, having somebody beam in like this makes them more human, because the movement gives them sort of a personality. It humanizes the remote participant. So instead of just having a laptop that's static, just the ability to move side by side kind of gives them a presence in the room. So,
wow, that's so cool.
Super powerful, super simple. You'd never guess like how cool this was. But
do you get a lot of companies on board with that? Like
a lot.
Yeah.
Because for $500, companies can absolutely experiment with this. Like the drivable robots start at $2,000, and that's more of an investment because you don't really know. But like for an agile team that needs to work together at a table, at the same table, but somebody's homesick or taking care of the kids, like they can be at home and be sitting at the table at the same time and look around just like as if you were there. super cool. I love telepresence. I love it. And soon, I mean, holograms are coming, virtual reality is coming, all of this stuff. I mean, this is just the beginning. It's going to be so exciting from here.
You watch Silicon Valley, right, Lisette? Like, they cover all of this all the time. It's so funny.
I haven't watched it.
Silicon Valley is super funny and super realistic, but then they also have the next level of the hologram and virtual team commuting. You're going to have to. It's so funny anyway. So
so let's wrap up.
Yeah, so this is part of the Happy Melly weekly challenge. We have weekly happiness challenges because happiness at work needs to be a habit that needs to form. We had last week someone even point out that sometimes you just need to get in the habit of being positive because sometimes negatively is how we de facto communicate with people, like, oh, this weather and things like that. So it's a habit. So each week we're focusing on a different theme. This week, of course, Lisette was leading us in remote working. Next week, another member of our team, Andy, is leading us on how to practice gratitude. We have the art of giving and agile mindset. We have other thought leaders doing other things. Anyone that's a member of Happy Melly can do that. Happy Melly is a very inexpensive global business network that anyone can join. It costs a couple cups of coffee a year. And the idea is that anyone is empowered, anyone on any level of a team, or if they just work for themselves remotely or whatever, to find happiness at work and help others. So we're doing a lot of experiments. We are an experiment ourselves. So hopefully you'll consider joining our team, those that pop on this call.
And we're going to end with the cutest kitty cat ever. Oh, you can't really see it. Look at that cute.
Aww.
What's the cat's name?
I have no idea what her real name is. It's my neighbor's cat, but I call her Cheech.
Cheech works.
Cheech. Hey, Cheech. What's up? Okay.
Another really great benefit of remote working is pets.
Neighbor cat. I don't even have to feed him or take him to the vet or anything. It just
don't even have to
cuddles all
him.
the time. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah.
Remote working and neighbor cats.
All right. Well, Christian, it's super nice to meet you. Please be sure to send me your address so I can send you some.
I will. I'm super excited to get some Supercard. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to play with them and then I'm going to get some more packs to distribute to all my co-workers.
Awesome. Awesome. I like to hear that. Okay. Well, then. Until
when I was picking a drawing,
Oh.
a draw, which is like this.
Wow.
The remote work challenge. The 4 of us.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome.
Each one with a headset.
Huh?
That's very well done. Wait, which one am I?
You're the bottom one.
The bottom one, yeah.
I love it.
I feel like involved.
Awesome. Please share that in the Slack channel too. That's great.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah, take a picture of it. We'll put it on the Slack channel.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. I will see you guys online.
Okay.
Have a great day.